Hey guys, it's Dennis here, back with another video for SEMO Gardening. On our first video, I just did a general walkthrough of the Coleus we actually had outside in the ground. Not a whole lot of information, but on this one, I want to go a lot deeper into the plant, give you guys a lot more detailed information. So if you're into that, stick around. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this. What we're really working with here is a plant called Plectranthus scutellarioides, the artist formerly known as Coleus, or Coleus bloomii, also known in some parts as painted nettle. This is in the family Lamiaceae, which is the same family as mint, dead nettle, and plants like that. This is native to Southeast Asia, Malaysia, and down into like Australia. Tropical plant. Okay, I wanted to find a plant here that I could get all up in its business. I want to talk about the general plant structure and how you can identify this easily. First of all, it has a four-sided stem. It is not round. As you can see here, the leaves come out of the stem opposite each other. The stem is mostly semi-succulent. The older it gets, the more woody this stem will get, especially if you overwinter this, put it out next year, it's going to be quite a bit woody. It's going to be a much stronger plant when it comes out of its dormancy. The leaves are ovate to oblong and slightly pubescent. Basically all pubescent means is it's got tiny little hairs on there, makes it feel fuzzy, and what that pubescence is a natural adaptation for being able to handle the harsh direct sunlight. Just helps block some of that radiation, help it keep from cooking the plant. Like I said, the leaves are generally oblong. Some species are more rounded, ovate, and they all have these notched edges. I don't know if you can see that. Pretty cool. But different species of these plants can only grow 6 inches, more of a shrubby plant, and some get up to 3.5 foot. And I have also read that in its native environment, under ideal conditions, some of these plants can get up to 6 foot tall, which would be amazing. I've never seen anything more than 3.5 foot tall, but that would be really neat to see that. So some other things you might want to know about these plants is that they are highly resistant to most diseases and pests. Really the only pest you need to worry about is if you have these indoors. You got to worry about spider mites, aphids, whiteflies, and I don't know, mealybugs probably. I've never once had a problem. Most bugs tend to stay away from these, but you can see that there are, out of 300 plants, I probably have 24 leaves that have holes in them. That is pretty resistant. So I highly suspect this guy. You're being incriminated. So although these are grown as annuals locally here, they're actually tropical evergreen perennials that can grow for several years. Most people don't know that. They just go to Walmart, go buy one, and it dies at first frost. But these plants do really well all the way up until the temperature drops down below, say, 50 degrees. The leaves will start turning black and will absolutely die with first frost. So you have to get these indoors or take cuttings from them if you want before all that happens. So this year we've learned a lot about the Coleus. We've learned that They maintain the brightest color and shade. After looking it up on Wikipedia, Wikipedia says that they do best in full shade. So that's pretty interesting for anybody who doesn't want to have to be out in the sun or doesn't have space out in the sun. You can put these in pots, bring them inside, and they do well all year round. And you don't have to worry so much about them dying in winter. Now these guys, real quick tip on these, to keep them shorter and bushier, if you want to keep them in a pot, really it's simple. All you got to do is you just pinch off any of the seed stalks for sure to keep it growing. Once the plant starts investing its energy into these seed stalks, it takes away from developing new leaves. So by pinching these off, it keeps the growth of the plant going. Also, if you start pinching off leaves down below, just pinching off sections like I did right here, you can see I pinched off the leaves there, and it forces that node where it was cut off to grow even more stalks. So instead of one stalk here, we got two. And that's how you just keep it shorter and a more full plant. And the more of this you do, in my experience, the more it explodes with growth. You'll get a lot more growth inside, growing up the stem, little leaves here. Just a little tip. Watering and fertilizing your Coleus. These plants prefer well-draining, moist soil. You don't ever want to let the soil just dry out. They will die pretty quickly. However, you also don't want to keep them overly wet. They do not like what they call wet feet. If the root ball stays wet too long, you will get root rot, and the plant will die. And the leaves will start turning a muddy brown color. So you can really tell if you're watering too much. This plant will give you the signs and let you know. As far as fertilizing, you can pretty much fertilize this thing once a month through all of summer month. From, I'd say, May all the way through August. After that, I would slow down on the whole fertilizing thing. But anyways, that's really all I got for you today. Just wanted to give you some more specific information, just in case you're interested in that kind of thing. If you like these videos, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to get more videos. And also, if you want to be notified when I do drop a new video, hit the bell. That'll give you a notification. Alright guys, this is Dennis with Simo Gardening. I'm out of here for the day.